Hi, I'm Darcy. I'll be your tour guide today at the Columbus Zoo and Aquarium. Do you love animals as much as I do? Great! Then you will definitely enjoy this tour. If you haven't been to the Columbus Zoo before, I highly recommend it. I'm from Minnesota, and the Como Zoo and Minnesota Zoo are fantastic, but the Columbus Zoo is even more spectacular. They have so many of each species, so you have a better chance of seeing them. Also, the enclosures are beautiful, and the animals have a lot of cool stuff to play with. This is my fiance, Josh. Let's start this tour off with the reptiles and amphibians. Here are some yellow poison arrow dart frogs. This is some sort of lizard. Maybe a skink? I'm not sure. Now you can see an iguana. Unfortunately, there isn't another one in the hollowed out log. I checked. That would have been cool. Here's another iguana, basking in the sun. Reptiles and amphibians are cold-blooded, so they need to soak up the sun for warmth. Here is a mighty Komodo dragon. Despite their name, they do not breathe fire. How neat would that be, though? If you pay a couple dollars, you can go on this boat ride. It goes right past the Komodo dragon. I didn't go on the ride, so I'm not sure what else you can see. I love turtles. They had several species on display. This one has a ridiculously long neck. Looks like a brontosaurus crossed with a turtle. I think this is a snapping turtle. I call him a triceratops, but rhinoceros is more accurate. He only has one horn. Here's a picture of him with Josh for scale, so you can see just how big this turtle is. He's bigger than Josh's head. I'm not sure what kind of turtle this is. He looks stuck. There's a whole bunch of them in this tank. Maybe one of his pals will come help him out. This is an Indian star tortoise, named for its exquisite shell. And this big guy is a giant tortoise from the Galapagos Islands. This concludes the reptile and amphibian portion of the tour. Let's head into the aquarium next. The majestic stingray is Josh's favorite. If you've ever pet or fed one, you'd know that they are surprisingly affectionate. Here you can see a couple manatees in the background. I love aquariums, seeing all the different color fish swimming around. I'm sure you spotted Dory. Yes, I'm a natural blue. Penguins! People think penguins are so cute because they look like they're dressed up in little tuxedos. Also, the way they waddle is adorable. Here's a bunch of flamingos. Did you know that they get their vibrant color from the salmon they eat? Also, their knees bend the opposite way of ours. This is a lorikeet. For $2, you can feed him and all his friends. Obviously, Josh and I took advantage of this opportunity. If you can't tell, I'm kinda nervous. I have a fear of birds flying at me. It was pretty scary, but once the bird was on my arm, I was fine and able to relax. This food must be really delicious because he wanted to eat it all up. His mom must not have told him that sharing is caring. I did it! I'm holding a lorikeet! Josh wasn't scared at all. He seemed quite interested in the lorikeets. This is an enclosed area called the lorikeet garden, so maybe this is a red lorikeet? This is a kookaburra. They're from Australia. This one scared me by flying into the glass. Kookaburras are so violent. You can see that this one has caught a mouse. We are in the bird portion of the tour. There are a lot of different interesting birds to enjoy. This one is hiding. These are black-crowned cranes. They live in the dry savannah in Africa south of the Sahara, although they nest in somewhat wetter habitats. Here's another bird. I believe this is a female cardinal. It appears to have the distinct cardinal head, but it lacks the signature red color that the males don. Clearly recognized by its white head, brown body, and hooked yellow beak, the bald eagle has been the national emblem of the United States of America since 1782. They live up to 20 years in the wild. Their wingspan ranges from 5.9 feet to 7.5 feet. When I see one in the wild, I consider it good luck and I make a wish. Moving on to Australia. A group of kangaroos is called a mob. Kangaroos are my favorite animal. I was thrilled with how many they had and how close they were. This one was lying right on the walking path. I had to resist the urge to pet him. There was a zookeeper right there, and they said that's not allowed. There are 4 different kangaroo species: red, eastern gray, western gray, and antilopine. The red kangaroo is the largest marsupial in the world. Kangaroos can't walk backwards, but they can hop around quickly on 2 legs or walk around slowly on all 4. They can even swim. They had a koala on display, but koalas sleep for 20 hours a day. He wasn't in a good position for viewing, so I'll leave you with this. I was not expecting a male koala to sound like this. Sleepy wombat. He looks so cuddly. I love all of Australia's marsupials. Let's move on to the primates area. First, we will view the gorillas. Gorillas are the largest living primate. Humans are also primates. Gorillas are very smart and have been taught to use tools in captivity. They communicate using gestures, body postures, sounds, and by slapping their chests. Some gorillas living in captivity, like Coco, have even been taught sign language. Like humans, gorillas have 5 toes on each foot and 5 fingers on each hand. Unlike humans, gorillas' arms are longer than their legs. Gorillas walk using their legs and knuckles. A gorilla can be up to 6 feet tall and weigh as much as 500 pounds. They are herbivores, which means they do not eat meat. They live in groups of 6 to 12 called bands or troops. They consist mostly of 1 silverback, a couple females, and their young. The only predator of gorillas is humans. This one was eating a cardboard box. I was surprised by how many gorillas the Columbus Zoo has. This looks like a gorilla, but it's actually a bonobo. They are much smaller than gorillas and actually related to chimpanzees. In one area, they had a full playground for the bonobos to enjoy. I thought that was really awesome. Here we have a mandrill. Rafiki from The Lion King is modeled after a mandrill. This here is a vervet monkey. They are of Old World classification. They are the most mischievous monkeys. Moving on to orangutans. Orangutans live on only 2 islands, Borneo and northern Sumatra. Unlike other primates, orangutans are semi-solitary in the wild, meaning they spend most of their time alone. Orangutans are the largest tree-dwelling animals on Earth. They have the most intense relationship between mother and young of any non-human mammal. Mothers carry their offspring for the first 5 years and may suckle them for 6 or 7 years. For the first 8 years of an orangutan's life, its mother is its constant companion. Orangutans are the only great apes of Asia. I don't know what kind of monkey this is, but they are pretty cool. Moving on to bears. The binturong is known as bear cat, although it isn't actually a bear nor cat. Fun fact, it smells like popcorn. Here we have a grizzly bear chilling on a fallen tree, and another laying on the ground. Polar bears live in the Arctic. They have black skin, and although their fur appears white, it is actually transparent. Seals make up most of a polar bear's diet. Male polar bears can weigh up to 1,500 pounds. Polar bears keep warm thanks to nearly 10 centimeters of blubber under the skin. They have a keen sense of smell and can detect seals nearly a mile away. Time to visit North America. I think these are weasels. They were so playful and cute to watch running around. The sea otters were quite playful as well. Sea otters sleep by floating on their back, and they hold hands so they don't get separated. Sea otters use rocks to break open clam and mussel shells. River otters, on the other hand, live in dens called a holt or couch. River otters love to slide down muddy hills or ice into the water. Mothers and babies play together. Here we see a female moose. Moose are my favorite Minnesota animal. This is a cougar or mountain lion. They put big tubes in their enclosure so they can relax out of the sun if they so choose. Moving onward to Africa. The African section of the zoo looks amazing. They have so many species living together like they do in the wild. They have giraffes, zebras, antelope, gazelles, hyenas, warthogs, and more all grazing together. For an additional fee, you can feed a giraffe. I really wanted to, but the line was really long and there was a lot of zoo to be enjoyed. But as you can see, the giraffes come up close to the fence. Although a giraffe's neck is 6 feet long, it contains the same number of vertebrae as a human neck. A giraffe's neck weighs 600 pounds. Their tongue is a bluish-purple color, and it is tough and covered in bristly hair. Every zebra has a unique pattern of white and black stripes. Most people think zebras are white with black stripes because some zebras have white underbellies, but they are actually black with white stripes. The ears of a zebra show its mood. There are 2 types of elephant, the Asian and the African. Elephants are the largest land-living mammal in the world. Elephants regulate their body temperature using their ears. They can swim, and they use their trunk to breathe like a snorkel in deep water. Some people believe that elephants with trunks pointing upwards are lucky. The name rhinoceros means nose horn. Relative to their large body size, rhinos have small brains. A group of rhinos is called a herd or crash. The roar of a lion can be heard 5 miles away. Lionesses are better hunters than males and do most of the hunting for the pride. Tigers are the largest big cat species. Lions are second. The cheetah is the world's fastest land animal. They can run 70 miles per hour. The cheetah can reach its top speed in just 3 seconds. The cheetah's fur is covered in black spots, and so is their skin. The black fur actually grows out of the black spots on their skin. The cheetah's tail helps control their steering and balance while running very fast. That concludes your tour of the Columbus Zoo and Aquarium. I hope you had fun and learned about the animals. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like it and subscribe for more adventures with me.